Straight up Tennessee family. I told y'all, man, on this midweek chat. Oh my God, we got a banger for you today. Y'all have asked for it, man. We delivered. We got VFL Peerless Price in the house with us today for Bama Hate Week. Man, Jalen Milroe running his mouth on Tuesday. Now you got Nick Saban saying he's a little worried. I don't know who to believe at this point. I don't know if Nick Saban just saying he worried to make people feel good, and if Jalen Milroe talking about he don't care because he just know that they got home field advantage and there's a little bit extra on this game for Bama. But it's the midweek chat, man. It's your boy Ruck in the building, joined by Term. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, today is going to be a good day. Happy Wednesday to everybody. It's straight up Tennessee, baby. Let's get it rolling.
From 40, on the way, a knuckleball. He got it!
Turn, what's up, man? It's Wednesday, Brody. How you feeling, my guy?
Bro, I am feeling good. You know, I had to get my microphone out for this one. You feel me?
That boy been sounding like Walmart, bro. He been sounding like he from the Dollar General for the past.
I'm home. You know, it's all good. It's all good. I had to get the big boy out for this one. You feel me?
I think everybody on YouTube and everybody on Spotify and Apple Music are very happy because they've been hearing a compressed me, and then it's just been like, wow.
I sound like booty, yeah.
Man, everybody watching right now on YouTube, man, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification right now, man, so y'all never miss a show. We hit 800, man. Thank y'all for the love and the support. Everything, it's just been crazy, man. The channel is going crazy. Let's keep getting it, man. Let's get 1K before Georgia. We on the way. I'm telling you.
On the way.
So all it's gonna take is that one, man. So y'all keep sharing, keep liking. Everybody listening on Apple and Spotify, we're glad you're rocking with us as well. Continue to rate us 5 stars. Let everybody know why they need to be rocking with us, man. We got a VFL in the house today, man. Like,
yes, sir.
When you say this name around Knoxville, when you say this name, people remember. It's very easy. It's easy to remember a lot of the memories of that historic season. Everybody thought it was going to happen in 97 with Peyton, but it took another year. And man, aren't we glad that still is just one of the things people never stop talking about. I mean, literally, bro, think about it.
Right.
Last year, we get into the CFP. Everybody's so hyped. Everything goes wrong at South Carolina. But the whole year, everybody's like, it feels like 98. It feels like 98. This guy has a huge role in that, man. We're going to bring him on. P, what's happening, man?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Man,
good, man.
Doing great, man. I'm so happy, bro. What y'all don't understand is this is family to me, and it's been a long time coming, and so it's gonna be a banger of a show today on this Wednesday, man. So let's start it off like this, P. Let's start right here. I have never asked you this question. I've always wondered. You've seen both sides of this. So you've seen SEC football at its highest level.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the league at its highest level. I mean, like, when you got to the league, it's like everybody was in their prime. Ray Lou, I mean, like, everybody.
Yeah.
So first is, what was your welcome to the SEC moment? But then what was your welcome to the NFL moment?
All right. Welcome to the SEC moment. Let me tell you, it's kind of long, but it's not long. I'll sum it up. So my welcome to the SEC moment was, so I arrived at Tennessee, and they give me number 37, and they say you're a defensive back. And so Tennessee was one of the few schools that actually recruited me for a receiver, as they told me that, but obviously it was a lie initially. And so they give me number 37, and they say you're a defensive back. So I spent the first month or so trying to prove to them that I wanted to play wide receiver. So my welcome to the SEC moment is this. Georgia comes to Neyland Stadium. It's our second or third game in 95. And I'm still like, they don't know if I'm a defensive back or I'm a wide receiver. And I saw Robert Edwards go for about 150 in the first half. And he's running over our linebackers, safeties, and corners. And my welcome to the SEC moment was like, there's no way me at 100, I was about 170 pounds my freshman year. There's no way I'm going to survive trying to tackle these guys in the SEC. It took everything in me to go to Coach Foreman and look, bro, I ain't tackling him. I was a great defensive back in high school because I led the state of Ohio in interceptions. And I felt like there was another opportunity to just get the ball and go score with it. So I would line up on the team's best receivers, lock them up just so I can get an interception in high school. And so that was my welcome to the SEC moment, seeing Robert Edwards and me wearing number 37 and saying, nah, I ain't tackling that dude. Nah.
Coach, this ain't it. This ain't
Nah,
it, Coach.
that ain't
Get me out, Coach.
No.
I couldn't imagine freshmen walking. Hey, Coach. Hey, this ain't it, bro.
Dude, I still say this. I never lost to Georgia, but if he didn't get hurt, he had I want to say he had 147 in the first half, and that's the first time he messed his foot up. Then he ended up doing it at the Pro Bowl in the NFL, that sand football game. That sand touch football game they had. But he was on his way for an historic night. He got hurt and they moved Hines Ward to running back that night.
And he was playing a little bit of receiver and quarterback for Georgia.
Hines Ward was playing quarterback, receiver, and running. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
So we stole that. We ended up beating them 30-27. Yeah. And then you said, welcome to the NFL. It's funny you brought up Ray Lewis. We're in Baltimore, week 2, my rookie year. And we had 3 receivers set, me, Andre Reed, Eric Mose, and I'm on the backside by myself. And we're in Baltimore. And I catch a hitch.
You on a slant. Oh, I'm about to say they didn't see you on a slant with Ray, right?
No, it was a hitch. So I catch the hitch though, and Chris McAllister was at corner.
Yeah.
And so I catch the hitch, and instead of turning outside, I turned inside. And I swear to you, all I remember was getting up from their sideline. He hit me. Ray Lewis hit me so hard. And I was sliding under the Gatorade and the water bottles under their bench. and so my thought was, this isn't freaking Georgia or Alabama anymore. They're great players. But I could catch that and turn inside and get a little more yards and, get down. Nah, it's a different speed right here. Yep.
Gosh.
So, yeah.
Now I see why every time you watch the warm-ups, man, they catch the hitch and they turn towards the sideline.
Yeah, you got to turn outside. You can't.
Every time.
It ain't working.
Inside in college. You actually catch it in college, turn inside, and then man the corner up and, do something fresh with it. But not in the league. You better catch it and turn outside and get out of bounds and get tackled by that corner.
Right. So coming out of high school, you talked about it a little bit. Like, if you had a top 3, I know that wasn't like a big thing back in the day, but
it
was for real.
It was.
Yeah. So you started with. So I started with about 10, and then I narrowed it to 5. And my 5 in my brain, I was narrowing it down to the 5 that wanted me to play receiver. And so my 5 ended up being Florida, Tennessee. Those are the only 2 schools in the South: Ohio State, Michigan, and Notre Dame. Those were my top 5. So I X'd Michigan off. So I got invited to elite receiver camp at Michigan. Yeah. And that summer going into my senior year, and they voted me the best receiver at the camp. But that was my first time being away from home ever. Like, I had never spent a week away from home ever in my life, not away from my mom. Yeah. And so I was so homesick that I blamed as 17-year-old kid,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, this ain't it. So I went down to the Final Four, and it was Notre Dame, Ohio State, Tennessee, and Florida. And I knocked Notre Dame off. This is so ignorant, but I'm gonna say it. I knocked Notre Dame off strictly because they didn't have the names on their back of the jerseys. That was the only reason I knocked them off.
That's
it.
crazy.
Coach Sturkerback recruited me from Notre Dame. And then it came down to Tennessee, Florida, and Ohio State. Everybody in Ohio thought I was going to Ohio State. I was an Ohio State kid. They offered me as a sophomore. And love Coach Mike Stock. He wanted to recruit me if John Cooper was the head coach. And I was like, basically, everybody, I thought I was going to Ohio State. And then, man, I fell in love with Florida. Ron Zook. I don't know if you guys remember Ron Zook.
Mm-hmm.
He was a recruiting coordinator for the Midwest. That's who recruited me from Florida. And me and Ron Zook hit it off. And man, so back then they faxed the stuff to your school.
Wow.
And so I had on signing day, I had Tennessee, Florida, and Ohio State fax over the paperwork. I had no idea on signing day where I was going. I wanted to go to Florida. My mom we had never been on a plane, so my mom was like, you can't go to Florida. And so like the 25th hour, man, I was like, Kippy Brown. I was like, call Kippy, ask Kippy what can he do. Like, my mom is coming. My mom is saying I can't go to Florida, it's too far. We didn't even really know the distance between Knoxville and Dayton, Ohio. Like I literally had never traveled like that. And so Kippy was like, man, we'll take care of you. Take care of your mom. We got Peyton Manning. You coming into a great situation. And I literally made the decision on my own. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to Tennessee. And so it's not, in the back of my mind, I was like, if I go to Ohio State, I won't be as successful because it's 60 minutes from my home and I'll be back home all the time and I need to get away from this environment. Yeah. So I literally, 25th hour, Tennessee was probably last going into the day, and I chose Tennessee by the end of the evening.
That's insane.
That's wild. Wow. Yeah. So that is crazy, to be honest. That whole story is crazy. To like go ahead and ask that question. I want to know.
So other than that, like what made you pick Tennessee? Like what about Tennessee was like, man, I can see.
I'll be honest. So on my visit though, I did fall in love with Tennessee. So I don't even know if y'all know the story of that, but they wrote about it. So when AJ, you was a guy. I don't even know if you was born. No, you wasn't born.
Yeah.
Or you might have been born because I met your cousin in 97. You was coming hanging out. But anyway, so on the way, so I'm telling you how I never traveled. So we ended up at Tennessee State initially. So my brother drove me and my mom down, and we went to Nashville. And so we basically added an extra 3 hours to the trip because we went to Tennessee State initially and then back up to Knoxville. And so, but once we got, they wrote about it like all my whole freshman year, like the Knoxville News Sentinel. By the time he finally arrived at Knoxville, he turned out to be a decent player. That's what they kept saying. But so when I went on the visit, man, I'm gonna tell you what got me. So what got me started thinking about Tennessee. So we go into the stadium and they do the little highlight video, and they got the highlight video, and it's you and it's you making plays in high school. But in the end, it's like you're editing and you're scoring in the checkerboard end zone. And this one, and they had the highlights of Heath Schuler and Peyton throwing you, and then it goes through all the wide receivers in Tennessee history, and it ends with this like wide receiver you, and then it asks you.
Why is Wi-Fi on that dookie right now? P, you pay too much money for Wi-Fi, P.
I know. I'm surprised it ain't mine, bro.
I know. I'm
we-
thankful it's not yours.
We good since I moved into this room, though.
Okay, is that
You back?
That's me.
Yeah, I don't know why it did that.
What? Well, Kai set this up because we didn't even. It said we couldn't use Safari, so we had to use Chrome.
Yeah. Chrome should be money for you.
Okay. And so you got to do that again, AJ?
Nah, I'll move it.
Okay. So yeah, and so it asks the question like, they go through all the wide receivers or whatever, and it says, "Will you be next?" Man, I was like, yeah. Yeah. And so I fell in love with the visit, and that's actually the only reason it ended up in probably the top 3. Because it was literally, honestly, I love Michigan. I love Desmond Howard. Like, I was an Ohio boy, but me, AJ, I'm always different. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. So everybody in Ohio was cheering for Ohio State. So I love Desmond Howard, Amani Toomer, and all those, Tyrone Wheatley. So I was a huge fan of Michigan. And so when Desmond Howard did the Heisman pose, when he won the Heisman, and he did the Heisman pose against Ohio State in the end zone, I was like, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I just figured I would end up at Ohio State or Michigan. That's what I thought. Or even Notre Dame at the time, because they were rolling too.
Yeah.
And man, I just veered laughing, like, you know what? I'm gonna take like LeBron said, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. I'm taking my talents to Knoxville.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. What a lot of people don't know is that, like, and I don't know if you still do, but like, you can hoop. And how did that all pan out too? Because I know initially you really wanted to hoop and coming out of high school. So like, how was that decision? Like, did you just know, like, man, football's gonna get me where I want to rather than hoops, or what was that like?
So honestly, when I came to Tennessee, I thought I was going to do both. So that played a role too. So my thought process was to do both, and that didn't plan out just because we'll go back. But so in high school, man, you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to the NBA. So so my senior year, you know how you had the high school newspaper or whatever. And so and I have it in my little scrapbook, and it said, what do you want to be when you grow up or when you get done with high school? And I'm quoted in the article as saying, I want to be the first person to play in the NBA and the NFL. And that was my dream. Like, I was like, I can do both. And I've always loved basketball more than football. And so come my senior year though, so the biggest schools that offered me, I figured football was going to be easier to get to the best school, right? Mm-hmm. And so on signing day, my senior year, the University of Dayton, University of Cincinnati, they all were like trying to get me to come play basketball. And I think if they would have came earlier, I probably would have went to Cincinnati and did both.
Man,
but
they was nice back then in
they were nice.
Dude, that was nice.
Yeah, helicopter, dude. They had a squad. Yeah, they had a squad. And so but when I went to Tennessee, I was just like, you know what, I can do both in Tennessee. And so me and Jermaine Copeland, I don't know if you remember Cope.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Jermaine Copeland both were like, we're gonna do both. And but Cope outweighed me. Cope outweighed me by like 30 pounds as a freshman. So going into after our freshman season in the spring, we both were like, we're gonna hoop. And Coach Former was like, not you. You gotta gain some weight, baby. so that's when I quickly learned that the basketball team was running like 3 miles, and Coach Former was like, you're not gonna gain weight. This is time for you to put on weight. Yeah. And so I basically made a mission to put on weight, but I was like, if I can't play basketball and I can dedicate myself all the way to football. It was the first time I dedicated myself all to football too. And I remember I know you're too young to know who Tom Lemon is, but he used to do the All-American football players in high school when I was coming out. So Super Prep and Tom Lemon, that's who you want to be an All-American for one of them. So Tom Lemon named me an All-American, and he in his article he said if he ever decides to concentrate just on football, he'll be a star. And so my freshman season, after the season, when Coach Boomer basically vetoed me for basketball, actually that played a role in my head. Like I went back to that Tom Lemon article, like, this is the first time in my life that I actually dedicate myself to football.
Football, yeah.
Because I've done football, basketball, track. That's what I did it my whole life. And so then I ended up winning the starting job going into my sophomore year, and the rest is history.
I still remember being like 13 and we went and hooped at like a Lifetime Fitness. And I was just like, dude, P still got it, dude. Like he getting hoop, bro. Like
so
what people don't know.
Yeah, so up into COVID, I still was hooping in leagues, like men's league. Like, man, a lot of NFL guys, baseball guys, and NBA guys, we played in this league in the city down here in Atlanta. And so then after COVID, the league kind of, went away. But Monday nights, we still got a group of guys that get together. So when I can make it out, I make it out and go hoop. But man, dude, my senior year, boy, I averaged 32.3 hours.
Dropping buckets.
Man, I was getting buckets. I literally, I thought I was going to the NBA. Like you couldn't tell me I wasn't going to the NBA.
Dang, man.
Y'all, man, we got VFL Peerless Price in the house, man. We typically would take a quick break here, but man, we're gonna keep it rolling, man. We're gonna hop into all things Bama week. Y'all know, man, it's a revenge game for Bama, but is it really? Like I feel like this week is more about Tennessee because we've seen how good we can be. We've seen how sloppy we can be and still win a game. I don't know if you knew this, P, but we talked about this on the show on Monday. That was the first time last week Josh Heupel in his head coaching career ever won a game without scoring 30 points.
Yeah, I mean, I literally told somebody that's the first time I've seen us win a game with defense. So I can believe it. Yeah. And
so knowing that, it's like, okay, can you get over your road woes? We haven't won on the road since last year at LSU. And so there's a lot of things that kind of play into it. But before we get deep into just football talk about this, man. One of the best volunteer traditions for, I think, any player is running through the tee. So for you, a lot of fans of the show have asked this. They're like, you got to ask this. It's like, for you, the first time to the last time, like, what truly does that feel like?
Man, it's euphoric. It's surreal. Like, honestly, so you hear about it. So you hear about it, then you, as a recruit, you come to a game and you see it, and it's the pride of the Southland, and man, and then you get goosebumps. Like
I still get goosebumps every Saturday. I'm in there.
Here's the crazy part to me about it. You don't even have to play in the game. As you grow, like my freshman year, by the fourth week, I knew I would be playing. But those first 3 weeks, I ain't defensive back, wide receiver, I didn't know. And so it was just euphoric, and you were in awe that you were in that moment. And then as you grow, you become a player, you start starting, and you run through the tee. And I think it hits you like, man, this is a pretty cool deal, right? And then my last time running through the tee, and they announce you and it's your final time running through the tee, you cry, because it's something like most 99.99% of the world would never experience. Yeah. And it's something that you don't ever want to give up. Like you wish it could last forever. Like that's the feeling. Like I want Kate Cotter to run through the tee, my daughters. Like I want them to experience running through the tee. I think it's something, you know how people say the 8 wonders of the world, or go see Big Ben, or go see the Eiffel Tower. For me, it's up there with those things. Like that's how great it is.
It don't get much better than that, man. I mean,
yeah.
You see it, and it's like, especially now with all the special effects, how if it's a night game, bro, they light it up, and it's like, dude, bro, I feel like punching somebody right now. Like, I'd be so hype, I'm ready to punch something, man. But it's just, that's the best explanation of running through the T I think I've ever heard in my life, ever.
Yeah.
So
it's special, man. It's special.
So man, it's Bama week. I don't think you lost to Alabama.
No, I never lost to them or Georgia.
Don't that sound strange?
That
sounds weird. Like that. The funny part is, I live down here in Atlanta, so all these doggone Bulldogs. And up until 2 years ago, I would always say, I had all that talent, you never won a national title. So that was my blowback. Even when they were beating us, I'm like, I never lost to you. Got a national title. And you never who ain't running through that? Who ain't running through Athens right now? Herschel's not coming through Athens right now. That's the last time you won. That's what I used to tell him all the time.
Yeah.
So now, they barking at you. They always barking at me. They always barking at me. But I never lost to them or Bama.
I just couldn't imagine, being a Georgia fan and just a grown man barking at you.
Right.
Like that's just
that is
weird,
true,
bro.
Too. That is true too, man.
That is weird.
Yeah, it is weird. But
you see a Georgia fan. You see a Georgia fan in Publix and they just start barking. It's like, barking. Bro, this y'all weird, but like
Bama, that's Bama. So here's what I always say, and the thing is, it's cyclical. So when I got to Tennessee, all they talked about was being Bama. Like literally, my freshman year, I'm telling you, it's like they wanted to skip every game and get to the third weekend in October. All they cared about was beating Bama. And so my freshman year, we beat them 41-14. And I was like, this is what we was. Joey Kent takes the opening pass. He takes it 80.
Crib.
At their place. And so I'm like, what is all the fuss about? And then my sophomore year, they come to Knoxville and we beat them. We beat them by a touchdown. Then the games to me were never close. We beat outside of my sophomore year, we beat them by at least 2 touchdowns every time. So, to see them now at Nick Saban and but I still think it's cyclical because when I got to Tennessee hadn't beat them for 9 straight times. And I know one of them was a tie because I know Alabama had to forfeit or something in 93.
Yeah.
And so it was 17-17 or whatever. And then when I got to Tennessee, what was it, 7 or 8 straight?
Yep.
And then they won, and then so it's all cyclical. I think now it's time for us to get on our run.
It is.
I agree with that.
Like you talking about that now, I feel like our generation, I would say, it's like we just want to beat Florida. Like when did it change? Like why and when did it change? Do you think?
Oh, so that was our issue too, though. Peyton never beat Florida,
right?
And so when I left Tennessee, that's all I cared about. I just wanted to beat Florida because the rest of them to me. I mean, I lost 4 games in college and 3 of them was to Florida. So,
man, that's crazy.
So I never. That's what I said. So even now, of course I hate Bama and Georgia, but I tell them I never had a reason to hate y'all. We all it was never even when they ranked Georgia ahead of us my senior year because we had lost Peyton and Marcus Nash and Leonard Little and Terry Fair, all those guys. And when we came to Athens, we beat them 22-3. I was like, it wasn't close. And we beat Alabama 35-17 or 18 or something crazy. And so I'm like, Florida for me was the issue. I hated when I left Tennessee. I absolutely despised Florida. I had no reason just to despise Alabama or Georgia because we had taken care of business. It was like, oh, Bama week, okay, we're gonna chalk this up. This is another win.
That's crazy.
But yeah. So yeah, man. And now we can't beat Florida. We can't beat them again. It's weird because they're not good this year.
Not at all.
No,
that game
not-
was terrible.
They're not good.
I
Not
try to
at all.
erase that one because that was just because it's like you take away one quarter
Yeah.
of that game, and it's probably another low scoring game, but Tennessee wins that game if you take away the second quarter.
Yeah. I think if you play that game in Knoxville on a neutral site, Tennessee wins that game.
It's game
Facts.
over. Game over.
Yeah.
Man, kind of getting into football right here. Like talking about the offense this year.
Mhm.
Like, what are you seeing? Like from your eyes, what's wrong in your like? What are you seeing? Like, what do you think our problem is?
So I was there this summer. I went there this summer, and
You told me this story.
yeah. I tell you, to me, the issue is, and I don't beat up on guys, and I think the issue is this. I think we really got spoiled with our receiving core from last year. And I don't think people realize how good those guys were. And people think that you can just, because a kid was a 4 or 5-star kid, you can plug and play. Or this kid transfers from Oregon, he can plug and play. Nah, like you got like the timing, the in and out of breaks, like that stuff matters. And I think people just think we got a high octane offense. You can just plug guys in because it's the scheme. Nah, you still gotta have the players. And I think I was telling AJ this earlier this summer when I left the camp, I was just like, the receivers don't get in and out of breaks fast enough. Like you got guys sitting on routes, you got guys if Joe is sitting back there and he's waiting for you to get open, that's gonna be an issue in the SEC.
Yeah.
Like, he gotta be able to throw you open, but you can't muddle it for him. You can't get bumped and have guys' hands on you on the line of scrimmage. You can't get to the top of the route and it's saying 1-2 in and out of break, or 1-2-3 at the most, and it's 1-2-3-4-5, and then you out of your break. So I think to me that's the issue. I've seen it up close. I mean, because we don't have an issue running the ball, and I've said that from day one. I never brought that up. Like we can run the ball with the best of them, and we've been able to do that in Heupel's whole era. That's what a lot of people don't talk about. But everywhere he's been able to run the ball. Everywhere, and I think for me, it's the timing with the receivers, but it ain't. I don't think it's a Joe problem. I think our receivers got to do a better job of getting open, getting in and out of breaks.
And you can
ahead.
see it. Is that what you're about to say?
I was gonna say, like, yeah. I mean, we go to every game. Turn since right below me. I'm in YY10. I'm in the third row of the upper. So I'm watching the plays develop. Like I'm seeing it firsthand because I watch the game as a fan, but I'm also looking at like, all right, man, they got 7 in the box. Like, bro, this is throw the slant, bro. Like it's there. Like just throw it. Or man, the outside hitch, bro. Look, this dude playing 8 off the ball. Man, just go 5 and just hit him. But what I'm seeing so much is and me and Turn talk about this a lot, is it seems like in this offense, the receivers have so much responsibility to know, like, yo, this route you're on is an option route.
Yes.
Like, hey, you are running a 9, but if you notice there's this much in front, like take the hitch, or man, break it off. But it's like you said, it seems as if nobody is on the same page. So the pass game is suffering. But again, it's like, man, you plug Cooper Mays back in. It's like, man, just keep running the ball. Like, but I feel like what's happening with Tennessee fans as a whole is they just blaming Joe Milton. And it's like, listen, he's playing, he can play better. Let's just say it. 11 of 22 for 100 yards, no touchdown, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Like, we're not going to beat Alabama doing that. We really won't.
No.
But Ramel Keaton dropping. I ain't never seen anybody that open.
Right.
Like you can't do that. And then that post corner in the third quarter against Texas A&M, Ramel Keaton slows down on the route. You got the farthest throwing quarterback. Dude, keep going. And it's like you can see this stuff happening. The opportunities have been there. We just haven't been executing. And so I start to wonder how much of this can actually be fixed. Like, it's game 7. We were saying this in game 3, like, okay, look, man, yeah, timing's off, yada, yada, yada. But, like, do you still think they have time? Like, can this be fixed before the year's over?
Well,
or is this what we're going to have to deal with?
Well, I think it can be fixed because it's a fixable issue. So the talent is there. And so that's why I think it's fixable, because it's not a schematic thing. Like that, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the individuals that we're talking about. And so me personally, like, can't drop a ball, a surefire touchdown. That's on the individual. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the next time you get the opportunity, you just make the play. Or the next time you got an option route where it's a 9, or you can break it off and do the comeback or the curl, you get in and out of your break. You and the quarterback on the same page, you get in and out of your break. So I think that's why I think it's fixable. But if it was more schematic and we're in week 7, I would say, heck no, because but I think I also think you need to use Squirrel more often.
I was going to ask you, because I know you had high praise on him earlier, and it's just I'm just wondering, you saw last year a lot of the routes to Squirrel were 30 plus. Like, it was like, man, let's get him out in space and let him run. And you're not really seeing that. So it's like, does that have to do with what, like, why is that? I see him all the time. Like last week, great route. He had a wheel route. He cut the wheel off and caught that ball on the sideline, toe tapped and got it. And it's like, this dude is so athletic and smart. And it's like, I wonder then why. I mean, he was having high targets earlier in the year, and he was still targeted 6 times last week, Turn?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I feel like Squirrel, he's probably got to get 9 to 12 to me.
Oh, me too. You got to get the ball in his hands because he's a playmaker. That's what. But I also see this in just football in this day and age. Like, so when I was playing, man, if I ran a 9 route or a post route, I wasn't jogging to the sideline. I was jogging back to the huddle to get the next play. And I see it not just in the collegiate level, the high school level, and the NFL level. Like, I saw a third down Monday night. Freaking CeeDee Lamb was on the sideline because he had just ran a deep route.
Yeah.
So I'm like, like when we say, I would agree with you. I think Squirrel, I think he needs the ball more. I think he needs more targets. But I also know that this day and age, guys will just take themselves out of the game too. Like, and we just didn't do that. Like, I did not want you to know who my backup was. That joke might come in and make a play. And then the coach in meetings on Sunday, like, oh, he might need more snaps.
Yeah.
No, that's not the way it is today. Those guys literally don't care. Like, and I think that's it. Like, I think, so when we say he needs more opportunities, we don't know, like, okay, let's just say what Squirrel ran, that wheel route the other day, toe tap, throw the ball to the ref, stands on the sideline.
Yep.
The very next play, we don't know if that play was coming to him or not because he's not even in the game.
Yeah.
So I think that plays a role too. Like this day and age, I hate it. so because I think your best players need to be on the field in the biggest moments.
Yeah.
100%.
Like,
And that just makes so much sense, like knowing when to break off your route and stuff. Because I mean, I sit here and think about last year, or even the year before, Hendon Hooker's first year. How many hitches did Cedric Tillman catch?
That's what
for about 10 to 12 yards.
Half his receptions, probably.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here like, man, why are we just running hitches? And it's not a hitch, it's an option route. And he's noticing that guy's 5-6 yards up, and he's just breaking it off and getting a quick 10.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not seeing that much this year at all. You were seeing it with Brew. You were seeing it a lot with Brew McCoy.
Yeah,
but,
you were. Yeah,
but now
that's
that
a big loss too.
Yeah, and you can see it big time.
Yeah. So
yeah, I feel like we and I'm gonna ask you because I don't know. I said it had to be Ramel Keaton. I really don't know, but other than Squirrel, like what young guy at this point needs to step up, or who has to step up in that receiver room?
That's a good question. Do we know who Dylan is?
Sampson?
I mean, I'm saying, do we really know who he is?
He can. He's he's literally Alvin Kamara 2.0.
Jacob Warren.
I agree with that. I think we need to use tight ends more.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like you. I mean, when you say young guy, and then what's after our top 2 to 3, who would you say? I mean, I'll throw it back to you because I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't.
That's how we feel.
I haven't seen anything to say you can. You know, they got the shoulders to carry that. Like, that's
facts. I mean, anybody can look. I don't want to say anybody, but anybody can look good in practice. But a game is completely different.
Yeah, like I mean, I can tell you 1,000 guys that I played with that would practice all-stars, but when they cut the lights on, I always say when they cut them lights on and it's showtime.
Yeah.
Some people run to it and some people run from it.
Yeah.
And I think right now, again, I go back to Jalen Hyatt, Cedric Tillman. They were really, really good players. And
they are on NFL rosters for a reason.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And like, playing, not just like on the roster, like meaningful snaps as rookies. And
right. And I think that's what honestly, I think Cedric's junior year, people was like, oh yeah, he's a pro, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But I don't still think people until Alabama realized how good Jalen was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That was
like,
that.
I think like dude could play all along, you know, and dude was an NFL guy all along. And I don't know right now. I don't know. When you look at the roster, can we say that?
I don't think so.
Ain't nobody proving it this year.
Right.
You guys turn. From the moment that South Carolina kid Jalen Hyatt got to Tennessee with Pruitt, actually his freshman year, I was like, bro, that's my dog. Like, that's the guy I'm rolling with. He has a terrible sophomore year, gets a concussion early, just never got it clicking with Josh Heupel, and then he went to work. And now he's playing meaningful snaps with the Giants. They suck, but he's playing. You know, so
big time
he's still getting his
he's
still getting his money, so he good.
Yeah, and I also think about that too. I mean, I'm sure they all are in the film room, but like you could tell with Jalen Hyatt, like he put in the work. Yeah. Like, was he a freak athlete? Yeah, but he put in work. He was in the film room, like doing his thing, studying film, like putting in the work to know what that secondary is going to do. And it kind of makes you wonder, like,
what's happening now?
Who's that? Like, do we have anybody like that on this team, or is it like I'm just a freak athlete?
That's a good question. Man, that's a good question because
I mean, I'm sure everybody's. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure everybody's got to go to film study at some point, but at the like, what are you doing in your off time? Like when
that's important because
instead of sitting in your room playing video games, like you could be in the film room watching film on your opponent. Like, you know what I mean?
You can watch a film in your dorm room or in your apartment.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got iPads now. You just watch it right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Man, y'all, we finna run into the last part of the midweek chat of Bama week, man, with Peerless Price. Y'all know, man, y'all drop the questions. We're going to ask them. This is now my favorite segment of Wednesdays, man. It is pump the gas or hit the brakes. So let me run this down with you. This is how this works. So there's 4 or 5 statements that we're going to say. We'll answer them. You'll answer them. We either going to pump the gas like, yeah, we believe that. Yeah, like that's going to happen. Or we're going to be like, nah, let's hit the brakes because I just don't think that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So we've got 2 from straight up Tennessee fans, and then we've got 3 just random ones. So the first one is just a random statement here, and this is for Bama. Joe Milton throws for 200 plus against Alabama. Are we pumping the gas or hitting the brakes?
I'm pumping the gas.
I like it.
I'm pumping the gas as well. I think you're going to see a lot of one-on-ones, and you're going to see some opportunities this game. I think I'm going to pump the gas on that as well.
I'm pumping the gas too because Alabama lost their best defensive back last year in Brian Branch, who is making noise in the league. They returned Terrion Arnold, like I said. They got Kool-Aid still, but I think the only thing that I've seen from Kool-Aid is he's an extremely great special teams player. Like, as far as being a great corner, I really haven't seen the hype. And so I think Joe's going to have opportunities. And I feel like Alabama they are going to force Tennessee to say, hey, I want to make you can you really run the football? They're going to put 7, 8 maybe in the box. Mm-hmm. And they're going to say, Joe Milton, go beat us.
That's why I think he's going to pass for 200.
I think he can get it. And if he can get 200, I feel like to beat Alabama, it's 250 is the sweet spot. I feel like because you got to make
very good either on offense. They got quarterback issues.
100%. 100%. Mm-hmm. That's why. And I'm gonna say this anyway. And the fact that this man Jalen Milroe had the audacity to say, "There's nothing like lighting up a victory cigar, bro." You a sophomore. You have never experienced what that's like.
I tell him I got 4 of them.
Oh my God.
I'll share one with him.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, number 2 right here. Tennessee defense forces a turnover on Saturday. We pumping the gas or hitting the brakes?
Man, they gonna force. I'm hitting the gas in the Ferrari. Yeah. Who the quarterback in Alabama? Stop it.
Yeah. I'm pumping the gas too. I really think that we can. I mean, listen. According the numbers say it, and now I think everybody is starting to respect it more. Kamal Hadden is playing out of his mind right now. PBUs from the one-on-ones to interceptions. I think he's second in the SEC right now in picks. He's got 3, one of them being a pick 6.
Yeah,
he playing special. And then I know that Danico Slaughter was your boy. He got hurt. Gabe Judy Lolly steps up, and now Gabe is he's daring people to throw it at him. And so it's really nice. I feel like that D line's gonna be able to get to him. And can we force fumbles? I think so. Can we get picks on Jalen Milroe? I think so. I'm pumping the gas. What you think?
I'm pumping the gas. 100%.
Facts.
100% pumping the gas.
This is one. This is a submission from a fan. D. Williams lines up at receiver. We pumping the gas or hitting the brakes?
Whoa.
They said on his press conference after the game, out of D. Williams' mouth, he said he is switched to the offensive side of the football. Like, he no longer is necessarily playing defensive back. He plays special teams and wide receiver. So, Tyron, what you think?
Man, that's so tough. I want to say
hard because he said it from his mouth. He said I'm playing on the offensive side of the ball now.
He said yes.
So
he said yes.
We see him lining up pregame. He's running receiver routes. He's no longer working with DB. So it's kind of like, does he line up at receiver? I don't know. I'm gonna hit the brakes for now.
What you got, Tyron? I'm hitting the brakes because I can't see it happening with Alabama. Why would it?
No.
Man, I'm hitting the brakes.
I'm gonna hit the brakes too, just because like I'm sitting here thinking of D. Williams, like he's a freak athlete, like absolute freak athlete.
Special with
But
the
I,
football.
but I think for D. Williams to be on the offensive side of the ball, like to actually play, it's gonna take probably almost a Georgia week, in my opinion, because
UConn.
yeah, get him in there at UConn, because I'm trying to remember from last year or maybe the year before why we were like, hey, why is D. Williams not on the field at corner? And I think it was like Eric Kane or somebody, Kane, or I don't know, whatever. I remember somebody saying that he couldn't figure it out up here. So
Yeah,
I mean, even if D. Williams does see the field at wide receiver, I think you've got a set for D. Williams that you got like 3 or 4 plays for him, and then that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit the brakes as well.
This one I didn't get in here, but this is from Dylan Elam, man, a member of the channel. Shout out to you, Dylan. He says, let's see how humble Peerless is. Pump the gas or hit the brakes. Peerless Price would have been a top 10 draft pick under Hypo.
Hit the gas.
I would
I think it was 2 receivers drafted in the top 10 in my draft.
Yep.
David Boston and Torrey Hope. Just definitely gas.
Yeah.
I'm all gas, no brakes.
I'm pumping the gas too. I just feel like they would have moved you from outside to the slot, and you would have just been absolutely murdering linebackers the whole night, every game.
Yeah.
It's like please put a linebacker on me, please,
right.
Please do it.
Yes. That would be. Whew. I mean, with the quarterbacks, I had to.
Facts.
That's true. Wow.
That's 100% true. Here's the last one for Pump the Gas, Hit the Brakes. This is from Marcellus Roberts, man. He says, are you taking the points, or are we going for it on 4th down against the Bama? This is really not really Pump the Gas, Hit the Brakes, but he's saying, are we taking the points or going for it on 4th down against Bama?
Where we got the ball at? So he's saying we're in field goal range. It's a guaranteed 3 points.
Well, I'm thinking more of last week. You know, we're at the 34 or the 33, and he misses one early.
Oh no, I'm telling you. So my wife will tell you, and my daughter will tell you. Anytime a college kicker, if it comes down to them making a field goal from 40 yards or beyond, or going for it on 4th and mid, I'm going for it, because they're going to miss 70% of those kicks. Like, I have no faith in college kickers from 40 and beyond. So no, I'm going for it. I'm going for it every time. They're not, unless it's the game, if we're tied, it's a 4th quarter, you know, it's the last possession, it's freaking 5 seconds left. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt the field goal, because I'm not
Let's see what
happens. Make the field goal. We're gonna attempt the field goal. But as a head coach in that situation, if I'm ever the head coach, I have no faith in the college kicker making it from 40 and beyond. I would like to know the numbers on them making those.
I would too, now that you said that, because that is very true.
They don't make them.
Like I don't know what happens from college to NFL with kickers, but like NFL kickers, I mean, they money from 60. I mean, like it ain't nothing.
Yeah. Now college kickers, man, honestly, it's a lot. It's mental, but you got to remember, in college, you still got a whole school life. You still got homework, so it's still not a job yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm going for it too. I don't know.
I'm going for it too, because of what happened last week when he completely wasn't even close on that 45 yarder he tried.
It
was 45,
and it's 40 plus. I'm telling y'all right now. I want y'all, the games this weekend when y'all watching, anytime they kick them, you do the numbers yourself. They're not making them.
Go for it.
Yeah,
go for it. Man, we wrapping up, man. We wrapping up the midweek chat. Y'all know how we got to do it, P. It's Bama week. What's your final score prediction going into Saturday? What you thinking right now?
I don't think Alabama's very good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know we struggle, and we're on the road again. It will not be like last year.
No.
Neither team is like last year.
Nope.
Give me Tennessee. I don't even know what the over-under is, but give me Tennessee 24-21.
I like that score. I like that score. Currently the line, I think the line went back up to 9.5. And I'm just like, I get it. You're at home, revenge.
But I don't even think I just saw Alabama struggle with Arkansas.
Bad.
I mean, they
Let
gave
them
up
come back.
5-6 sacks. Arkansas is not good. We're better than Arkansas.
Very, very much so.
So, I mean, I get it. Like, they keep saying revenge or whatever, but I think Tennessee 24-21.
Another game where Heupel doesn't score 30. Tennessee fights it out and win. I said this, man, and this is how we'll wrap it. I said this. That game last week, 2 years ago, we lose that game.
I'm telling you. Yeah, lose.
We lose that game.
100%.
But the culture has shifted. These kids just want to win. They don't care how. And so I think now this year, the way we win, it's just going to be a little different. And fans are going to be like, oh, my gosh. Y'all, can I tell y'all that we 5-1 going to Tuscaloosa right now with a chance to already be going bowling? Yeah. And it's like, let's just chill out. Let's let coach. Let's be fans. And let's watch us win again. That's where I'm at. Yeah. I'm like, bro, we're 5-1 with okay quarterback play right now and really bad receiver play. Like, imagine what happens if it clicks.
Yeah.
I mean, what I tell you yesterday on the show, bro, or 2 days ago on the show, I was like, man, literally, I said 2 years ago, if we're playing that game, if Texas A&M gets the ball with 3 minutes and 40 seconds, they're drove down, they've scored, and we've lost. We've gave them too much time.
Definitely. So, but Alabama does nothing great to me. They don't play great defense. They don't run the ball great. They don't have great quarterback play. Like, this isn't Bryce Young and those guys. Like, this ain't Matt Jones and Smitty and this ain't those guys. So
Tennessee's got a big opportunity, man, to do something that hasn't been done literally now this 16 years. We haven't won down there. And so can we do it? Yeah, I think it's time. And so, y'all, it's been the midweek chat, man. Pete, thank you, man, for hopping on with us today. Yeah, I'm telling you, the people been like, man, we got it. I'm like, all right, we gonna do it. And man, if y'all are watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, man. Everybody listening today on Apple and Spotify, thank you so much. You already know we'll be back on Friday with Stephen Cawley from Alabama, man. We're going to talk all things football with him. See what he's like. He's feeling real good about this game. Every Alabama fan is, because the only thing that they got to hold on to is that it's at home. That's it. So we'll be back on Friday, man, for my guy Turn, for Peerless. It's your boy Ruck, man, and it's straight up Tennessee, baby. We'll see y'all on Friday for the One More Day episode. We out.